actor here can be human being, human beings, can be family, society, and also country. So let's first try to analyze how this richness model or the richness framework or the richness graph would be applicable to a human being as an actor who is struggling to survive for the basic riches of survival. A human being who does not have the basic riches for survival like food. I mean, one of these are missing: food, shelter, water, sanitation, healthcare. These are the basic riches of survival, and let us see if a human being who is not having these, how would that human being fit in this richness model or the richness framework. So our actor, that is the human who is struggling for basic riches, where does that human being, based upon the present status, present rich status, fit into our richness model? So here, that is what I think of, because this human being does not have the basic riches for surviving. Either food, shelter, sanitation or power are missing from their life. So I want to be rich for them would first be, I want to be rich in the basic riches of survival. I want to get sufficient food to eat. I want to get sufficient shelter, at least a decent shelter. I want to get decent health care. I want to have proper sanitation facilities. I want to get water. I want to get power. That means electricity. So expecting the God richness from that human, it is again human being specific, but the desire for that human being to make ends meet, to survive, would be more. This might be there with that human being to be God rich, but this would take priority because that human being is missing the basic survival facilities. So our human being who is not having the basic riches for surviving would fit here. For that human being to move towards God richness, to have empathy, to share, to care, to love, though that human being would do, but that would come later. First, he or she has to survive. Alright, so now we come to our next actor. Again, it is a human being like me. I can count myself here, who has got the basic riches of survival: food, shelter, sanitation, power, water, healthcare. I have the basic riches of survival. Now it will depend upon my desire for riches, what kind of riches I desire, where I will fit myself in this graph. So I want to be rich. I want to be rich in what terms? I want to be rich in terms of having more money. I want to be rich in terms of having more cars, more houses, or I have a passionate desire. I want to get fame, or I want to achieve some goal, or I have some emotional desire. or I have an intellectual desire. So it will depend upon the kind of richness desire I have that I am going to fit here. But the important thing here is how much God richness I want and I want to live with, apart from having my rich desire. So say I say, okay, I want to live with minimum God richness. Okay, fine. Love, happiness. I want to just attribute that to a minimum and focus more on my goal and focus more on my aim. That is fine. That is my call. So I will put myself based upon my present rich condition where I want to go. Say I want to go here at this point, but I want to have minimum God richness. I mean, just to call upon, I just want to have sufficient God, not too much, minimum God richness. I want to fit here. Now, there can be another human being like me who has got a sort of similar desire. His desire to get rich in terms of wealth, fame, emotions, intellect. But that human being also wants to live with God richness. And there can be reasons for it. That human being feels that if I live with God richness, I'm going to do a favor to myself and to my family and to society. So he's same like me. Human being is same like me. But he comes here. He lives with more compassion. He lives with more love. He lives with more empathy. He lives with more morality. Comes here. Likewise, there can be various human beings based upon their desires where they can fit themselves. Let's take one more example. Let's take there is a human being who has got all the basic bridges for survival, and that human being wants power, or he is in a position of power where he can control a lot of things and he wants to get more power. So he is having authority. A human being is having authority. It can be authority of any kind. It can be power of any kind. But because of him, things can move. He can do good for people. He can do bad for people. He is a person in power. So, but he wants more power. He has got a desire for getting more power. He wants more wealth. He also has a passionate desire, but he is already a person in power. His present condition is he is at an authoritative position. So, what kind of God richness would you normally expect from that human being? Love, care is fine, but I would say morality and responsibility are the core values that human being should possess, because he or she is sitting in a position where they can make a lot of decisions in favor or against people in masses. So a human being who is in power, who is at an authoritative position, based upon again his own individual perspective, his own individual desire and decision, can think of living with too much God richness, because that human being is in a position of power, is in a position of authority. There can be many reasons any reason which has made that human being reached that level, but again it depends upon that human being. He can also be at this position, just wants to get more power, more money, more wealth, more fame, with minimum godlessness. So it is again completely a human being own way of living, analyzing the present condition, where they are. They can choose to live, to present themselves at a point over here.